The incredible island of Java in the Indonesian archipelago hosts a myriad of diverse and abundant ecosystems, cultures, and intriguing practices. Join me as we explore this island and experience its countless beauties, its rich and diverse communities, as well as the resourceful people that inhabit them. Surabaya is a vibrant, sprawling metropolis with a deep and layered history. It is located on the eastern side of the island. In 1945, the city played a huge part in gaining the nation's independence, and its people are known for being energetic and outspoken. The next day, we got set to explore the towns on the beautiful blue banks of the Bozem Lake. We narrowly dodged the traffic as we crossed its many roads and bridges. We even got lost on several occasions. Despite this, the inhabitants were excited to see us. It must have been rare to see an Australian tourist in such an unexpected place. We then visited the local CNN news station and even got to try out some of the cameras there. According to the news staff, there are more than 14 different news stations in Surabaya and over 300 nationwide. Later, we explored the famous Wonorejo mangroves. This ecotourism site offers boat rides across mangrove forests and is the home of a plethora of local fauna and flora. After that, we discovered an ancient Hindu temple. Around it were many intricate carvings and statues. The day after, we decided to cook a traditional meal called nasi tumpeng, which is usually served during important occasions like weddings. Kampung Lawas Maspati is an old, colorful and plant-filled village. Situated in the northwest of the city, it is known amongst tourists for its bright, expressive murals, its festive music, and lively architecture. As we sang and danced, we each wore traditional Javanese clothing made out of batik fabric, known as sarung and belangkon. We later played some fun traditional games around the village and even got to meet and interact with some of the locals. After that, we returned to our hotel to rest and prepare for the next part of our journey. It was time for us to leave the city and to venture to a much different place. After a few hours had passed, we finally arrived in the town of Batu in East Java. We stayed at Hotel Kartika Wijaya, which is known for its detailed Dutch heritage aesthetic and its gorgeous scenery. We then went to Museum Angkutan, which was a museum that showcased the country's detailed automotive history. there we saw all sorts of stunts, tricks, and dance parties. The next day, we climbed Mount Bromo in the dead of night, as we anticipated freezing temperatures and sheer cliff faces. But we were eager and ready to face the challenges that lay ahead. Because we knew that watching the sun rise would be worth it. The long, difficult climb had been worth it. If you listen carefully, you can hear the roar of the boiling hot sulfur in the crater below. Behind us was a sea of sand, a nature reserve which has been protected since 1919.
Cement block on the sea of sand area is to make sure the driver, the horseman, or the people who goes by and on the track, drag track. Because even the kangaroos can be get lost here if the weather is so bad.
Here we were in the town of Pare, more than 100 kilometers from Surabaya. What started off as a small English school in 1978 has grown into a famous, respected establishment where people from all over Indonesia travel to study. Nearby were also the ruins of an ancient Kediri temple. Each of these temples holds intricate carvings depicting historical events and legends of the ancient Kediri kingdom. This temple is known as Candi Tegawami. Later, we bought cooking supplies at a traditional market named Pasar Bandar. We cooked a delicious local dish made out of fried soybeans called tempe gembos. Here, I also won a cracker eating contest. And then, we tried to make a batik design using hot wax and a tool known as canting. And we even made some new friends at the local school. In Solo, we stayed in Universitas 11 Maret and were accompanied by the students there. Life on campus was even more peaceful than our time spent in Batu Malang. We then made a trip to Borobudur, the largest Buddhist temple in the world. It dates back to the 9th century and has around 2,500 square meters of stoneworks, with 72 stupas, each containing statues inside of them. After that, we were taken to Pasar Gede to buy some Indonesian snacks and food. The es dawet at Ibu Sipon is particularly good and is very recommended by the local students. We were then shown some local dances at a university. Some of us were even lucky enough to have taken part in the Dayak tribe's Kancet Papatai war dance. And later that night, we watched a traditional theater performance called Wayang Orang, featuring the 4 mischievous Punokawan and legendary Mahabharata heroes like Arjuna. After a long week, it was time to head off on the last leg of our journey. The city of Jakarta is the largest in the country. It has an estimated population of 11 million as of 2023. The bustling and busy streets were crowded on all sides by buildings of many shapes and sizes. The most common form of transport in Indonesia is motorcycle. We bobbed and weaved through the city like birds in a flock. The streets were numerous, and the only way to truly get around was by sharing a ride. We then visited some influential media organizations like the Jakarta Post and the TVRI television station, where we got to see behind the scenes for many of their productions, ranging from news, religion, comedy, and music. Many of which are recorded all at the same time. I found the range and quality of these productions to be very impressive. We even had time for a little ice skating. Jakarta is one of the densest, most sprawling cities in the entire world. The pace at which it grows, moves, and changes makes it one of the very best places to end our study tour. An inspiring destination which had me awestruck at every turn. The perfect send-off to a magical, once-in-a-lifetime adventure, and one that I will never forget.